Dawson's Rambles. Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. For today's video, I'm just going to do a little freeform talk about why I'm excited for Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. So if you guys follow my channel at all, you know that the thing I'm most excited for is the reboot. I'm really looking forward to hopefully wiping the slate clean and getting a new take on everything. But in the meantime, you know, I think it's really cool we're having content in the middle and we're not just having like a weird blank spot or hiatus. So I am excited for Cosmic Fury for a couple key reasons, one of which being that. You know, I think that I've really been enjoying Dino Fury. Like, it hasn't been perfect. I have my criticisms. There's definitely still some holdovers from like the Neo Saban weird purgatory era, but it has made some improvements, and for the most part I've enjoyed myself. I really like the cast of characters, except when Ollie's being a douche and he's like denying things that are right in front of his face like one of those science turds. But other than that, I've really been enjoying the cast of characters, and they've really made some improvements with not making them seem so goody two-shoes, not so many forced lessons. They've had a little bit more serialization in these seasons. We've had some really cool lore additions that I never would have expected, like with the Morphin Masters, and some really cool connections and explaining stuff like where the Energems came from. There's been a lot of pleasant surprises. For me, there's been more to enjoy than to not enjoy. Like I said, definitely some criticisms, but for the most part, I've been liking it. So I don't have a problem with the idea of having a third season of what I've been enjoying, especially since, like I said, you know, they very easily could have had like a blank gap of a year or two or so before the reboot, and we would have really nothing to enjoy outside of course, the comics. And in terms, we have nothing to enjoy TV-wise, I guess I should say. You know, we'd have the comics and we'd have the toys, but it would be a little bit of a dry spell. So I like the idea that, hey, might as well have something out there, and it'll be something you're at least somewhat enjoying. You know, and I've had a little bit of experience with like Beast Morphers and Dino Charge, enjoying it early on, and then it kind of tapers off. But thankfully for Dino Fury, that hasn't happened for me yet. I mean, we only have a half season left, so they can't really hugely disappoint me in a way that I'm expecting. But I've enjoyed, like, you know, 2/3 of the show, or 3/4, I guess you could say. And I don't know why I'm doing fractions. I hate fractions. The point is, that's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to it, is I'm enjoying Dino Fury, and I like the idea of just being able to have another season to enjoy before we get to the reboot. Another reason I'm excited for it is it sits in this really interesting place right now of it's like a known and an unknown quantity at the same time. Like, we know we're getting a third season of this cast we already have. I mean, they have said there's going to be some original stuff and it's going to feel a little bit different, but I mean, obviously, I don't think it's a bold claim to say that there'll probably be some familiar feelings and elements from Dino Fury Seasons 1 and 2. So it's like this weird thing where we know we're getting the same cast, there will likely be some carryover in some of the quality and feel of the show, but at the same time, right now, it's like we've defined it, but we also haven't, because we don't know exactly what suits are they going to use. Are we going to keep 3 soldier suits? Are we going to use the Kara Major power-up? Are we going to use the Kara Major suits? Are we going to use Zenkaiser suits? You know, I've mentioned in previous videos, like, our minds can kind of run wild with the possibilities, which is fun. I'm keeping my expectations kind of low, just in the sense that I even find myself getting carried away with the possibilities, and I'm going to kind of expect something unique, but not maybe as wild as I'll let my mind go. But even that is exciting, because it's kind of this interesting new territory we're in here. And in the meantime, I don't think there's anything wrong with wild speculation. Like, some of the crazier thoughts and theories I've had about original suits or Zenkaiser stuff or whatever probably won't happen. But I like that this has kind of stretched my imagination a little bit and allowed me to dream and think about stuff. And because we have, like, Dino Fury as a context, it gives you kind of a place to start that's really interesting, and I think that's fun. I'm also really excited by the idea of a third season, because I think it's kind of a cool idea that it kind of accidentally, I say accidentally because I don't think they planned this when they initially started Dino Fury, but they accidentally kind of pay homage to mmpr, you know, having 3 seasons, and I think the original Zordon era in general for this possible bookend to the original universe. Because, you know, as we've gone on later into the franchise, I want to see us become totally original, but my favorite thing about the adaptation aspect of Sentai was seeing them do their own thing and seeing them be creative. And, you know, as messy as it is, it's really fascinating to watch that original Zordon era craft this mythology by continually adding on all these different series. You know, Cars and Space and Zeo and Dinosaurs and Die Ranger stuff. And they all kind of tried to just throw a bunch of stuff at it and make it fit. And it made this crazy mixed up universe. And if this series is to maybe use a mix of original content with maybe some elements of one or more Sentai. Again, I'm not saying that's possible. We could very well just use one Sentai, but like the idea that we will be doing something of a hybrid and possibly having multiple elements excites me, because I like being able to sort of pay homage at the end to that element, which I really liked, and I like the idea of being able to see what they come up with and how they might come up with explanations. You know, I loved crazy stuff in PR. Like, I love that the Kaku Rangers are alien fish people. That's so PR. Or that the white Die Ranger suit looks more natural to me with the Jew Ranger suits. Like, when I see it with the Die Ranger suits, I'm like, damn it, Barry, why'd you change the timeline? Like, I like the crazy, unique stuff like that, and I like the possibility that at least in some form we might be able to pay homage to that. Not to mention the feel of a third season and the cast carrying over, although it is different than MMPR because we didn't have a peace conference and we didn't have one of the characters go to gymnastics, but still is very MMPR Season 3 feeling. Going to space could possibly bring up some cool in space homages. You know, if we get new suits and they lose their old powers or in any way, that could also bring up some really cool homages to, you know, Chase into Space and the transition from MMPR to Zeo, which I think is really cool. So I'm pretty excited to buy it. Like, I'm pretty excited to buy it. I don't know why I was Italian there for a second. But regardless, I'm most excited for the reboot, but in the meantime, I like that this has stretched my imagination, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do and having another year of PR TV show to enjoy while we wait out the reboot. But what are your reasons that you are excited for Cosmic Fury, and what are you hoping to see? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.